Are we recording? Don't laugh.
I will laugh if I want to.
We can pretend like we haven't done this 3 times.
It's a human reaction to laugh.
We're supposed to fake it like we didn't start this 3 times.
They know what it is.
You already know what it is. Okay, welcome.
Welcome to the Let Me Know That You Know podcast. I'm Dustin, aka Mr. Coin Laundry.
And I'm Mandy. Oh my god, I forgot my name. Okay, hold on.
No, you're keeping this in.
No!
You're Mandy, aka Truly Mandally.
I'm Mandy, aka Silence.
No. You're Mandy, aka Truly Mandally.
I'm Mandy, aka Truly Mandally.
Congrats. Don't you
Shut
dare
up.
edit this out.
Shut up.
Oh, God. It's been another slow news week, I think.
It's been a week.
Yeah. Not much happened. Especially not with our Pats. I don't think we're going to hear anything from him until...
What about Willem
finished.
Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe is still making those movies that he's making.
Okay.
I heard he's making a Western with the guy who starred in Django alongside Jamie Foxx.
Well, and might I add, ha.
It's called Dead for $1, I think. Which is interesting. Did you see officially Tekken X Street Fighter got canceled?
No, wow. Hold on.
It's been like...
They were still making it?
Well, no. See, it came out like 2 years ago, I think, that Harada was hoping we all forgot.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking most people did.
And none of us forgot.
Oh,
We've
no.
all still been clamoring for it. And then, like, just last week, they were like, okay, it's not happening. Officially, it is not happening.
That kind of sucks, but, like, I get it, too.
Yeah.
Because they went, okay, how much different will it really be if we just flip-flop?
Well, it would be pretty different. Because it would be like...
I mean, it would be a different style.
It'd be Street Fighter characters with Tekken inputs.
Right.
And Tekken graphics.
But what
which
are they
is more
gonna do?
realistic than the anime-ish.
But what are they going to do for the story?
I don't know. Harada would figure something out.
Oh, well, clearly he did not want to.
Ono figured it out for the other one.
Well, he went, no.
Well, now
I don't want to play with your characters.
Oh my god. Well, now he needs to make a good Tekken story for 8. Because 7
maybe
was
that's
not
why.
Good.
Maybe that's why he went, I don't want to. They hated my 7, so
Oh my
I don't
God.
want to.
Well, no one else cared. I'm the only one who cares because everyone else went, gameplay go Bert. And I'm like, the story is terrible.
Did it indeed go Bert?
The gameplay is great.
Okay.
Playing it against your friends and playing online, great. But that's not why I buy
But it's
fighting
not
games.
a $60, $70 game.
No, I wouldn't pay $60 or $70 for something I have like 50 of in the other room.
Yep. Okay.
What's the point?
Right.
If it
I
doesn't
mean, I
have a
agree.
good story, what's the point?
I agree.
I don't understand these people.
Because you could play 6.
Because I remember I bought it, and I was so disappointed that I tried to return it so that I could like buy it when it was like $20.
I remember,
or something
and
like
they
that.
were already shortchanging you.
And they wouldn't do it. But this guy who was waiting to get his copy was asking me like if it was bad, and I was like, well, the gameplay's fine, but the story's bad. He's like, oh, I don't care about that. I'm like, why are you paying $60 for this, dude?
Because he wants to play it right now.
That's so stupid.
He's probably like, what an idiot. He wants to play a fighting game for the story.
I mean, me. There's a reason. If I didn't play it for the story, what's the point of playing Tekken and not like?
Well,
just
what's
Street
the
Fighter?
point of playing every iteration of a fighting game then?
Yeah, like just buy like.
Buy one on each new console, and then there you go.
I mean, that's what the guy does, I guess. Well, just buy like.
But I mean, like, okay, how many did the PlayStation 4 have?
I think it was just that.
Just
7.
7? Okay, well then you had to buy that one.
6 was on 3.
Mm-hmm.
and the 360.
Mm-hmm.
4 and 5 are on the PS2. I mean, they kind of try to go one.
So
at
then
a
they
time,
force you to buy it on
but that's
each
so
iteration.
stupid. Like, then I would just buy Tekken 4 and never buy another one.
I mean, true, but
I don't care.
realistically, right? Not everyone has every console sitting there waiting to be played, right?
I guess.
So you do kind of have to buy it so you can play currently with your friends.
I just don't understand.
I mean, I'm with you.
I don't understand these people who buy like sports games day one and fighting games
because
day
that'll
one if they don't care about the story.
I mean, sports games, amen, because it'll drop in like a week if you wait.
These are just people who want to play online and think they're gonna fucking go to the top of the top at the at Evo or something, and it's like it's just not gonna work out that way. I mean, if you're good, you like it, you're passionate about it, go after it. But if you're just doing it for the money, it's not gonna work out in your favor, I don't think. If you actually enjoy doing it, then yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't understand you.
Yeah.
But if it brings you joy, whatever. Who cares what I think?
Right. That's all it comes down to. People are gonna do what they're gonna do.
I play these games for more lore and more story. Like, if that's all I bought fighting games for, why would I care what happened in Mortal Kombat 11?
You don't.
They made a whole cinematic story. Ed Boon wouldn't even have to bother.
Right. Well, yeah, because, I mean, I think the companies at least realize there's value in creating the story, because you could just sit there and go, well, they released 2 on the console on this iteration, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to buy the 1 if there was no more value to it, right?
Yeah. Virtua Fighter. I'm just kidding, don't get mad at me. There are people who will lose their shit.
They're already mad.
There's just not really any story. There's an anime, and it's kind of a goofy, haha, dumb man can fight good. I don't know. I just wish Virtua Fighter was better.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. If you like
That's my
go
opinion.
off. Who cares what I think? I'm some rando on the internet. Anyways. I just never understood that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did want a Tekken X Street Fighter. I was excited for that. I was excited to see what Harada was going to do.
Maybe
Harada
one day.
Went, no.
Maybe one day it'll come back up again, but right now he says no.
I doubt it. Especially with Ono out the picture. Apparently they were friends.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's
why.
Yeah, probably. There's gonna be a Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover after all these years.
I'm in. I loved Courage.
It took this long. What are the Scooby Gang gonna do when they realize these monsters are real?
You got me.
When they realize don't touch that fucking slab, or that thing's gonna come after you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Was it a fox? What was it?
Depends on what you're talking about.
I think there was one with a fox, but there was a really trippy one.
There's like 2 or 3 different foxes, I think.
Okay, but do you remember the really trippy one?
Is this the one where the spider comes out of the faucet?
I don't think so.
Does he wear shades?
No.
The fox?
Uh-uh.
Okay, is this the one with the lesbian couple?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you remember from this episode?
It freaked me out.
Oh, great. That helps me a lot.
I was right there with Courage. He was trying to protect the house.
Okay.
And that was...
It was probably the fox.
Okay. Okay.
Did he have a deep voice?
Yeah.
Okay, well that was the fox.
Which one was it? With the lesbians or the spider?
It's the spider.
Okay, I didn't remember the spider. The fox.
Well, I think he had like multiple episodes.
Oh, okay.
There was one where he came to the house, and then there was one where they all went on a cruise on what looked like the fucking Titanic. So I don't know what year this is set in.
This one was the house.
The lesbian couple was like, and Cartoon Network tries to be like, oh, they weren't a couple. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was obvious. It was this cat and this bunny, and the cat kind of looked like the fox because, I mean, it's just the way they're drawn. And it was this asshole Doberman who didn't. He wanted the bunny to be his girlfriend, and he was like a gangster or something. He was a big asshole.
Oh yeah.
And he tried to kill the bunny and
Damn.
the cat, and Courage saved them, and they ran away together.
All right. I kind of like that's bringing back a memory, but no, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
It was so weird.
I loved Courage. It was weird.
It's such a weird show.
Yep.
Like, I feel like a lot of those episodes had a lot deeper undertones that no one got, but they were all creepy.
Also, Muriel and Eustace were dumb as hell.
They were the dumbest fucking human beings on Earth.
Courage tried so hard.
Eustace was an asshole.
He was.
There was only one time where he was nice, and it was to himself, but he didn't even realize he was being nice to himself. He, like, lost his glasses, and he was seeing, like, a little kid him, and it was, like, raining. It was like he was being an asshole, so worse things kept happening to him, and then he had a rain cloud stuck over his head and stuff. And then, like, he saw a little kid him, but he didn't realize it was a little kid him, and he was like, "Where's your hat? You ain't got no hat to protect yourself from the rain?" And then the kid was crying. He was like, "No, I don't have a hat." He's like, "Oh, kid, no hat. Here." And he gives the kid his hat. And that was the only time I've ever seen Eustace be nice.
Damn.
That show was weird.
It was weird.
That
was always one of my favorites, though.
A creepy show, too.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a single episode that didn't unnerve me in some way.
Yeah, I think, honest to goodness, I don't know why I liked it so much, because I was a big fraidy cat, but...
Same.
I did.
I don't know. I miss Courage.
I think that was my favorite Cartoon Network show.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna be buying that one, the Scooby-Doo crossover. Although, I feel like every Scooby-Doo movie is like, the monsters are real this time. So, like, all the episodes were like, it's some fucking rich old white fuck. And he's being greedy. But then, like, they do all the movies, and all the movies are like, oh shit, it's real this time. And then they just pretend like it never happened.
Yep, no, it's all fake. See, when they make the movie, they're actually making a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's meta.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a show being self-aware that it's a show when they're making the movies. But when they're in the episodes, no.
My favorite is Zombie Island. That movie was amazing.
I didn't watch them like that. Like, I think if I caught it on TV, I would watch it maybe once, and then I never watched it again. So I have no memories of these movies.
Scooby-Doo was my shit. So I watched everything. Maggie hates Scooby-Doo because of that. I would annoy her and Dad. And, like, I used to get my dad to watch cartoons with me. And Maggie fucking hated Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
She was, like, the artist in the house, and she knew how to sew and stuff, and so she would always sew me these, like, pillowcases and stuff. And so every time I got into something new, she had to do a whole new set for me.
Yeah.
Because the little kid brain, you're not like, this is probably a lot of work.
No, you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the one. I'm gonna keep this forever.
And just, like, I don't know. I annoyed the hell out of her with Scooby-Doo, I guess.
That's funny.
And, but Zombie Island was, like, there were werecats. They were werecats, and then there were zombies. And it turned out the zombies were actually the good guys. Spoiler alert on this 20-year-old movie.
How dare? Why were the werecats the bad guys?
Because
it's a show with a dog as the star, so
Yeah.
the cats had to be evil.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what exactly happened in the situation. It was like the werecats had actually killed those people or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I remember all the Scooby-Doo movies had like the most banging ass soundtracks. And like the guest voice actors would be amazing. Like Vincent Price was in one.
Yeah.
And Tim Curry's been in a few.
I believe that.
Because we all love Tim Curry.
The star of Dragon Age Origins.
The most hated character.
I know, he was so bad.
I didn't even know it was Tim Curry until you were like, "That's Tim Curry," and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, because I heard
hate that character.
I heard his voice and I went.
I just didn't
Is
pay
it?
close enough attention. Like, he annoyed me, so I would like skip his dialogue. He was such an asshole, and he was following the biggest asshole, and I was like, "Fuck that guy." He was the villain of what's that Jet Black game called? Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Something Legend.
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend, yes. Which I wanted to stream, but then I remember there's like a bunch of metal songs in there that you can't stream on Twitch with.
Did you... What was I going to ask you? Anyway, back to Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Real quick. Oh, did you... I remember what I was going to ask you. Did you kill Tim Carrey?
Tim Curry.
Tim
Curry is Jim Carrey's love child?
Yeah.
Yeah, I killed him. Arrest me now, officer.
Did you kill Tim Curry's character?
Yeah, is there another option?
I guess you could save him.
How?
I mean, you could send...
wasn't his name Howell?
Yeah, how? Yeah. You could, like, send him to jail.
No, I killed his ass.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this man is an asshole.
I didn't even realize that was an option. I thought you have the big fight and you fucking kill his ass. And then he has the most dramatic death, which should have tipped me off that it was someone important.
I think before the fight, there's a way you could, like, handle it, right?
No, anger
I know.
drove me to the murder.
I was like, because there were, like, some...
Jim Carrey.
Shut up. Some dialogue options that you could pick that could get it to a different, like, ending. But I was like, no, you're a piece of shit.
Fuck you.
Was it Nathaniel Howell?
Nathaniel Howell. And then I think he had a kid.
Yeah, he did.
Who was also an asshole.
He was an asshole, but just different.
Yeah. Different.
He was more of
different.
He was just more of like a pay me off and I won't say anything kind of dude. Where
those games
that fucking guy was like torturing people and like kidnapping them and
it's the medieval times. We don't have time for moral bullshit. Just murder the dude.
Right. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, not today.
This isn't fucking Jedis. You don't sit there and be like, well, the Sith would kill him, but I'm a Jedi. Fuck you, kill that motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, like, I tried to take a more, like, reasonable approach, but that one was like, you're not even reasonable. You don't deserve to be reasoned with.
Fuck. Yeah. How did we get here? Because
you said Tim Curry, and I went...
Oh, okay.
The star of Dragon Age.
Back to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Before you go, whatever path you're gonna go down... I didn't watch the cartoon or the cartoon movies that much until the only thing I watched multiple times was the live action with Sarah Michelle Gellar because I already loved Buffy.
I loved it, but I think everyone hated that. But
I
I still
care.
loved it. And I watched Scooby-Doo like religiously. And I watched every cartoon movie and they were all good. Especially the TV movies where Shaggy is like in charge of a school of monsters, and then Shaggy becomes a werewolf. Shaggy! Because, like, the Wolfman quits He
Me
like
too.
quits Transylvania. He's like, bye, see you.
Fuck it, I'm out.
He leaves a postcard saying he's going to live in like the Bahamas or something.
He's going to travel the world.
And Dracula's so pissed that he like curses Shaggy for some reason. He picks Shaggy to be the next wolf.
He's like, you look kind of like a wolf man.
And so then they have like this wacky races kind of thing going on. And basically if Shaggy loses, he has to stay and be the Wolfman forever. And Shaggy has like a girlfriend in this one. It was so weird. But like, I liked it because number one, it was funny and good. Mm-hmm. And number two, I didn't like Fred that much.
See, I didn't like Fred. I didn't like Daphne, which is hilarious because then Sarah Michelle Gellar was Daphne.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, just kidding, I love Daphne.
But like, nobody else was there. The true stars of the show, Shaggy and Scooby, were the only ones in the movie.
Petition for Velma to be the main character. Forget Daphne. Forget Fred. Freddy? Fred?
Fred, yes.
Why not Freddy? Because then it would be like...
Well, I think sometimes Daphne would call him Freddy. But...
Mm-hmm. When they went off
there was
together.
so much, like, implied bullshit.
Right.
Like, now we're adults and we're all analyzing these shows and people are posting, like... when Daphne was saying, like, her and Velma were going to go somewhere and Shaggy and Scooby, and then Fred's like, Daphne, and then she looks at him and then he, like, kind of raises his eyebrows and she's like, oh, me and Fred are going to go over here, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You're supposed to be working.
Fred's like, it's just going to be another fucking rich white fuck. Anyways...
Literally, he's like, there's really nothing we can do except arrest this man at the end of the day.
Anyways, Zombie Island, they were in Louisiana. It was straight up Louisiana, but like, I don't think they ever came out and said it was Louisiana. I could be misremembering that they didn't say it, but everyone had that like Cajun accent. They ate a lot of like hot sauce and stuff, and it was very like Louisiana culture and everything. But they called it like Morning Scar Island or something like that. And I'm like, this is fucking, it's Louisiana.
No.
And they'd get like po' boys and shit.
Hell yeah.
And they'd be like, but the guy who turned out to be one of the bad guys was like, people go to Morning Scar Island, they don't never come back. Anyways, it was a good movie. The Scooby-Doo movies are always good. Although I haven't seen any of the newer ones, so I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I heard they crossed over with Supernatural ones, but I might be wrong. That might have just been like a fan sketch or something. I don't know. I feel like there was a Supernatural movie.
That would be cool. I mean, essentially they're the same.
Yeah, pretty much. Except
one deals with actual supernatural beings and the other deals with angry old white men.
Scooby-Doo would deal with like monsters and stuff, but they never crossed over to like heaven and hell.
Why not? Is that not appropriate for a kid's show?
I guess not. Those movies were top tier. We had some dope-ass cartoons, man.
We did.
I don't know what the kids are watching these days, so I can't speak on that, but we had some dope-ass cartoons and shows and stuff.
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles was the shit. Now I feel like they kind of, like, hold back because they're, like, coddling the kids a little bit. We had all these, like, deep messages in our episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like you shouldn't cut that out. Kids need to learn these lessons.
No,
and
Boy Meets
parents
World.
don't seem to want to teach their kids. Yeah, Girl Meets World was awful.
Yeah, I mean, Boy Meets World had all this, like, deep shit and, like, stuff that eventually you will be exposed to as you're growing up. So it was, like, better to tackle it in a show first so you know, like, maybe a good way to handle it versus...
Talk about things like racism and, like... cults. They even touched on cults trying to prey on young kids.
What a weird time.
There was an episode where Sean got, because his parents were never around.
Right.
And this cult just preyed on him. And then Sean was like talking weird and being weird and they were trying to reach him and they couldn't reach him, and then like the guy who was supposed to be taking care of him got into a motorcycle accident, and Sean kind of snapped out of it and started crying and stuff, and that shit was deep.
The teacher,
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
And then there was like the episode where Sean's girlfriend at the time was being hit by her dad.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, they were tough subjects and stuff, but like, you can't baby these kids. Kids are smart.
Right, and there are plenty of kids that are going through more than just like kid-friendly things.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be better to, you know, have other kids be aware of it so then, you know, they can maybe get their parents
involved.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Because that's really what it would come down to with those, like, hard things, right?
Yeah.
They would end up telling some sort of adult, right, that could perhaps help.
Yeah, step in.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to put those things in the shows and, like, talk about these things. They just want to act like it's not happening, and it's happening. People are dealing with really rough stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you really don't want your kid to watch it, change the fucking channel.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're the parent. You decide.
But that's the issue. They don't want to be parents.
Right. So I'm like, okay, so if you're not doing the parenting thing where you, like, talk about these heavy things, right? And you're not monitoring, or you don't want to monitor what your kid is watching. So there's only happy, joy kind of things, right? What happens when they come across these situations?
They don't know how to deal with it.
Right. And yes, in a perfect world, they would go to their parents and go, hey, this happened, but, I mean, we've all been kids. That's not always our first reaction.
Yeah. Even after the show, it's not always your first reaction, but it's gonna come across your mind. But
I mean, how did it always go? The kids tried to handle it on their own,
and then they realized they couldn't,
and then they went to their parents. So it's like almost kind of like, shortening that process to go, okay, maybe we can't handle it. We saw the outcome here, and while I know it's TV, it seems realistic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's sad. It's sad because I heard what had happened was Disney sat them aside and said, all this, like, deep stuff and, like, intelligent writing that y'all did on Boy Meets World, don't do that. You can't do that on Girl Meets World. And then what happened? Girl Meets World fell flat. Nobody watched it.
Mm-hmm. Because that was the heart of the show. Yeah. You're not going to care about characters.
If you don't have a Mr. Feeney, what's the point? No, you're not going to care about characters, right? Yeah. If you're not going through it with them. Yeah, I rewatched that show at least. I try to rewatch it at least like once every 2 years or something. And I cry every fucking time. Because it's emotional. It's a good show. It was well written. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel. It teaches you. Right. Mr. Feeney taught me a lot about life. Corey taught me a lot about life. And Sean definitely taught me a lot about life. Can we discuss Eric? Oh my god. Eric taught me don't be stupid. Well, I just feel bad for him because I feel like he got the short end of the stick. Well, because he started out, he was dumb, right? But he wasn't that dumb. And then they went, no, we need slapstick dummy. So Eric was the... They should have a name for this trope because it happens way too often, but I feel like no one analyzes it. So, like, Homer Simpson in The Simpsons, when they started that, he was dumb, but there was heart. He had heart. He was a dad. He was a person. And then suddenly he's this incredibly stupid, slapstick, butt-of-the-joke character. Mm-hmm. And the same thing happened on Family Guy with Peter. And the same thing happened with Joey on Friends. And the same thing happened with Eric on Boy Meets World. Eric wasn't always that fucking stupid. He was funny when he was super stupid, but he used to, like, be a person. He had moments where, like, you know, he would share, like, his
like life experience with his brother and like
Yeah.
try and be that good big brother, but eventually it just got to the point where it was just like dumb.
See, The Office did it right with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he was being stupid, and he still had like those heartwarming moments and stuff. And then there was that one moment, I can't remember what happened. Somebody said something about like Michael, and he was like, "Me? Are you sure? Do you know who I am?"
But yeah, they intentionally, I mean, it with The Office, right?
Yeah.
They intentionally started him out, like, they always had the arc kind of thought of, right?
Yeah.
Where he was gonna start out as this, like, completely unlikable dude.
Yeah.
And there was a point where they felt like they over-directed that and made him, like, completely hated, right?
Yeah.
So they had to very carefully, like, walk that path, right?
Yeah.
Of, like, going from this completely unlikable man to someone who's grown and, like, is aware of their bullshit
Yeah.
and tries to do better, but isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And kind of redeemed him that way.
Yeah.
But if you have no, like, intent for the whole, like, character arc...
No, it feels like Eric just kind of got set aside.
Yeah.
My favorite thing will always be when Michael gives Oscar that little, like, burlap sack doll.
Yeah.
And Oscar thanks him for it. And then it cuts to Michael, like, crying, laughing. He's like, "It looks like it was made by a monkey. And he thinks I did it. He has the lowest opinion of me than anyone here."
I love The Office.
Me too.
Oh, Joey.
Joey.
I wanted to go back to that because I feel like they realized at a point that they were just making him just the butt of everything.
Yeah.
That towards the end they tried to, kind of redeem him and
Yeah,
give him more heartwarming like stories and that kind of thing. But
my favorite thing with Joey is like Phoebe and him kind of had their own little relationship. And then there was that moment where Phoebe talks about her past lives and her memories of her past lives, and Joey's like, "I don't remember anything." And she said, "Of course not, sweetie, you're new."
Oh, and if that's not the goddamn truth?
But yeah, I do think they kind of came full circle on Joey. And, reeled it back.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm like, towards the end you were like, okay.
Yeah, that's right, I stepped up.
That's right.
If I had to, I'd pee on any one of you. I still love Friends.
Me too.
Did you hear?
I hear?
I know you did, because we talked about this and how stupid it is.
Okay.
That people are outraged at the show Loki because he's bi.
Listen.
And we discussed...
Yeah.
Wait till they find out what Norse mythology is.
Right. Wait till they find out what Norse mythology has to say about Loki, because they're gonna be even more outraged.
My mans was out here having sex with horses.
He got some horse babies.
He had horse babies. A wolf
In fact,
baby.
I think it was he carried them.
Yeah.
So not only
he was impreg.
he was.
He was impreg. He gave birth to horses and a wolf. And the wolf is gonna end the world once he releases himself from that shackle. And what else is there? He has like animal babies.
So like, if they think bi is crossing the line, goddamn, they're in for some surprises.
They're gonna really shit themselves when they hear this. And everyone still thinks that he's just a Marvel character. Norse mythology existed before Marvel.
Long before Marvel.
Somebody was trying to like, because when they want to fake outrage about something else, but it's really because they're homophobic or racist. Like, when Miles Morales was Spider-Man, they tried to say like, God, what did they try to say? It was some stupid argument. It's like, no, you just hate it because he's black.
Right.
they were trying to say that their outrage was that Disney is changing Loki and it's disrespectful to Stan Lee who's dead. And it's like,
I saw that.
Bruh, Loki existed before Stan Lee. Stan Lee didn't create Loki.
Stan Lee didn't invent Loki. Stan Lee took Loki from Norse mythology.
Also, Stan Lee would not care.
No, because he was... I mean, how many other characters got changed while Stan Lee was alive?
A lot of them.
Right.
Most of them, actually.
Yeah, because he was okay with, like, creating a new story with the characters and, like, appealing to different people and blah, blah, blah.
And moving with the times. Like, look at Black Panther being created. That was at a time where people were outraged at him for having a black superhero. And, of course, it wasn't just Stan Lee.
No.
I think... I could be wrong. I think Jack Kirby had a hand in creating Black Panther and all that. But, you know, Marvel has always been standing for... standing by their side and everything. Now, granted, Marvel has some shitty practices in the past, and especially when other people stepped in and stuff, but
I mean...
Stan Lee would not give two shits that Loki is bisexual.
Right.
In a show on Disney Plus. And if that's really your outrage, you need to get some better priorities in your life.
Right.
And take a look at yourself and how you live.
Look at your life, look at your choices.
I mean, who fucking cares? Number one, it's a fictional character. Number two, is him having sex with men and women hurting you in any fucking way? No, it's not. Let him live. Let Loki live.
Now, again, if that, like I said, if that's gonna blow your mind, don't read Norse mythology.
Like, at
Don't
all.
read any mythology, actually, because there's a lot of weird stuff across the board.
Loki gave birth to horses, and his father, Odin, rides one of the horses. So his father is riding his nephew. So let that sink in.
Yep. But, I mean, even in Greek mythology...
Deal with it.
Zeus is, like, sleeping with...
Zeus is fucking everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
Even some of his own family.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure they were related to him, so like there's that.
Incest is pretty prevalent in all of mythology.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on across the board, all of mythology, so like maybe
but let's all shit ourselves about a bisexual Loki.
Right, avoid it if it's not for you.
People are dumb. People find dumb things to watch that, outrage. Though. We do need to watch it. I still can't get over that Owen Wilson is in this.
I know, that's weird.
He just came out of
You want to talk about weird.
I mean...
Owen Wilson in Loki.
Wow. He just came out of left field. I didn't see any rumors that Owen Wilson is going to be... Like, people like to put rumors forth for a lot of different things. Like, oh, did you hear Kevin Smith's going to make a... what's his name? Howard the Duck show. And, like, that never happened.
Nobody is making He-Man.
He is making He-Man. I'm excited for that. But, like, they would always do things like that. Like, oh, did you hear this actor's going to be in Marvel? And, like, they never come to Marvel. No one said a word about Owen Wilson.
See, that's where Marvel is really good at this.
Yeah.
I feel like, except for when they're actors.
Tom Holland.
Out of pocket. Well, who spoiled the end of...
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And he went, am I going to get fired? Don Cheadle said, probably.
He didn't get fired. Spoiler.
That was my favorite thing, because they were all, like, so worried about Tom Holland, because he was the one spoiling everything.
Nobody bet on Mark Ruffalo, though.
So much so that they gave, like, Tom Holland fake scripts and everything. And then, Mark Ruffalo and Don Cheadle are in that advertisement. They're in that interview. And then he says something about, like, oh, well, we're all dead. And then Don Cheadle just does the slow turn looking at him like, did you really just fucking say that? Like, it was so cartoonish.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark Ruffalo went, we're not dead, or something like that. And then Nanji was like, you are in so much trouble. And Mark Ruffalo said, am I going to get fired? And he said, probably. So that happened.
I love that.
That was amusing.
But anyway, aside from that moment, right? And Tom Holland, just precious baby boy. He didn't mean any harm. He just was
He's
excited.
so excited.
Anyway, so I feel like the things that come out, or the things that like get like revealed, right? Or like spoiled. I think they might have like people dropping false things.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's true.
No one even knew Owen Wilson was in it until the episode came out.
Right.
And then we were all like, is that Owen Wilson? He didn't even look like himself. You kind of had to squint to look at him.
He's a shapeshifter.
He is a shapeshifter, just like Loki.
Yes.
And they're boyfriends. They're not boyfriends, but I'm sure they want to be.
Is that them, or is that like your wish for them? My wish for you.
Let them have a happy life. Oh my god. Jackass 4 is happening.
Yes.
And sooner than any of us thought.
Yeah, no kidding.
October.
I'm so excited.
I am excited. I'm sad about Bam. We'll talk about that in a minute. I do want to touch on Bam.
Yes.
Jackass 4 is coming out in October. Like
October 21st, I think, something like that.
This year.
Which, so ready.
Jesus.
So in. I will be there day one, ready to see that movie.
I did spoil the cast for myself. Except I don't think it's all of the cast. I think there could be more people. But
probably, but... if you don't want to know...
Yeah, skip ahead like a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
Spoilers in 1, 2, 3. Eric Andre is going to be in it. Shaq is going to be in it.
Which, where isn't Shaq? Let's just start there.
Tony Hawk is going to be in it.
A wonderful callback.
Rab himself is going to be in it. And our boy, Post Malone, is going to be in it.
I don't think we've spoken on this. We love Posty.
I think we have. We love Post Malone. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Eric Andre, I think, is going to be a great addition because that man is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he will do anything. That if y'all think that the Eric Andre show is scripted, it's not. That he goes in there and he's really doing that shit and freaking people out the whole time. So he was already doing Jackass before Jackass.
He had his own Jackass.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yes, that'll be so good. I love Jackass. I have watched all the CKY videos. I've watched everything Jackass. I watched the spin-off shows. I watched Wild Boys. I watched Viva La Bam.
Yeah.
I watched...
Same. Except
Bam's Unholy Union.
I never watched Wild Boys. That was the only one I didn't watch.
Oh, I wouldn't say I watched all of it, but I watched most of it. I didn't buy the seasons or anything. I have the seasons of everything else I listed. But it was on MTV2 enough that I would just watch it. I'm pretty sure I saw majority of it, if not all.
I liked Steve-O, but Pontius always made me feel some type of way.
Why?
He always felt like he was a douchebag.
You know what I think is funny? I didn't like Steve-O. Now I do.
Yeah.
But he was just too much for me at the time, and I was just like, I don't know. It was a lot. And then I liked Pontius.
I did not like Pontius at all. He was funny sometimes, but then I always looked at him and I was like, that guy is... Something's going to come out about that guy someday.
Nothing has.
Nothing has. Egg
that
on
I
my
know
face.
of, anyway.
I don't know.
He wasn't one I followed that closely. Steve-O and him, I didn't really follow that closely. I watched poor Steve-O as he went through his his drug addiction.
Yeah.
And do you remember that special?
Which one?
There was a special about Steve-O and, like, the jackass guys trying to do an intervention, and
I don't think
I watched it. It was bad. He was, like, huffing, like...
Oh, he was doing the worst.
Yeah, he was, like, huffing fumes and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He was doing some
It
pretty
was dark.
fucked up shit. Not dealing
And that
with
was
some trauma.
that was at the rap album time.
Yeah, of course it was.
What do they call it when they're like, I don't even know. This is how out of it I am. He was like, when you have like an aerosol can.
Whippets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the rap album time.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. He wouldn't have done that album otherwise.
Why do you think he wouldn't have released that masterpiece?
Oh, I don't know. Just a thought, a feeling. The sad thing is now Bam is on his downward spiral and no one can reach him at all.
No, and it's so sad because, like, I thought Steve-O was gonna die.
Yeah.
I was almost convinced that he wasn't gonna make it out of it.
Yeah.
Same for Novak. 100% honesty. I didn't think he would make it out of it.
Yeah.
Dunn hit me from left field that he died.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I was at my cousin's. I was at Shane's house, and I was just chilling with him, and these people, I had no idea who they were, and him and Alex hadn't gotten married yet, and we were all just chilling, and then Alex read out loud from her phone that Dunn died, and I didn't quite catch who she was saying at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brain caught up.
Yeah.
And then I was trying so hard not to cry in front of these people about someone I didn't even know.
Right.
And then when I left, I was fucking sobbing.
Yeah.
And I think I texted you about it.
No, you didn't, because we were only talking on the internet at that point. We weren't even dating yet.
Oh, well. Maybe I did not.
You didn't text me, but I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
You came back to your Tumblr.
To my Tumblr.
And we talked about it there. But it was so sad. I was like, Dunn was always my favorite.
Yeah, he was. And he was so happy, too, before the accident. He had finally gotten rid of Lyme's disease. He had finally gotten his shit together, and then that happened.
Yep.
And Bam has never recovered.
No.
And
like, obviously, it's gonna hit him the hardest, because that was, like, his best friend.
Yeah.
Like, for years. Decades, maybe, or at least a decade at that point.
And he's not dealing with it, and so he's just getting worse and worse and worse.
I mean, the big clue is he's still working on that documentary for Dunn.
He's not gonna... It's not gonna be okay.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is... you want the big flashing neon sign that he has not dealt with his emotions regarding Dunn's death. There it is.
If he finishes that documentary, it's not going to be what anyone wants to see.
No.
It's not going to be coherent. It'll probably be way too jokey because he doesn't understand.
No, I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it'll be... It's not going to be as well thought out. I mean, he'll try. If he was sober making it...
Yeah.
It would probably be better, but it's going to come... I will say it's probably going to come across sporadic, I would say.
Yeah. And the issue is, he doesn't have... He's not letting people near him that actually want to help. Anyone
who tries to go into that position...
He berates them.
He shuts them down. Either he pushes them away, kicks them out of his life, whatever. I would like to know how his wife is handling it, because...
I don't know. I feel like they're... Everything you see, it's like him talking shit on her, like talking down to her and everything, and her being mad back, and it's just like, it's not a good relationship, I don't think.
I mean, no, not while he's... I mean, my biggest concern for him, and I've said this to you, I wouldn't care if he completely backed out of, spotlight, celebrity, whatever, and whatever, did what he needed to do to get healthy, because he has a kid.
Yeah.
And, I mean, right now he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
So, like, he has the time, right?
Yeah.
To get himself well so he can be there 100% for that kid.
Yeah. But he is not doing that.
No.
And
there's definitely been moments where I'm like, oh, I think this is the time.
Yeah.
But it was not the time.
Then he falls right back into it.
Yeah, and I'm like, like I said, the only thing I want for him, I don't need him to do another Jackass. I don't need him to do anything like that ever again if it's not good for him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just want him to be well for his kid.
Yeah. I feel like his wife sobered up for their kid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about his wife.
Just from what I'm seeing. I don't really know the whole story, but it's sad. And I'm upset because Bam, and maybe this is a sad statement, but when I was a kid, Bam was a hero of mine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, no, not that it's a sad statement. Yeah. I mean, I love Bam. He was my favorite out of everybody, right? Yeah. Out of the main stars, right? Yeah. He was my number one favorite.
I did not really want to watch anything Jackass related unless Bam was going to be in it.
Right.
And it hurts my heart. I don't know him. I don't know Dunn. Mm-hmm. But, you follow these people. You watch them. You come to, feel some type of way. You come to love them.
Right.
And I worshipped that man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's refusing to get better, refusing to deal with Dunn, and I don't know what anyone can do, and I feel like he's going to wind up just like Dunn.
I think the struggle is he thinks he knows what's best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's definitely...
Well, he went through, celebrity rehab, which I don't know how well that ever works for anyone.
Right.
And that never helped him, obviously.
No. And he went on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, which
I still never saw the episode.
Me neither.
But, it didn't do anything. No. I think he did go into a treatment. Yeah. I think it did work for a while, but it all has to come down to him and his willingness to fully commit.
He needs...
And I think at the end of the day, he thinks he knows what's best. And so he he goes, well, I'm fine now, so I can add this back in. He
needs therapy, and he needs to face his traumas.
Yeah.
That he's not acknowledging.
Right. And, what just saddens me, right, is you can see how much he loves his kid. So that's why I'm, just extra sad. I'm like, you need to do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
To be well for your kid.
It's one of the saddest things I've seen involving, a celebrity I follow and everything.
Right.
And it's just... I don't know, man. We grew up in the era of Jackass. We grew up watching Viva La Bam religiously, and anytime a Tony Hawk game came out and Bam was the character you could play as, we were always wanting to play Bam and wanting to follow Bam on Underground 2, and except you never got a choice. It just happened back and forth. But I don't know, that whole thing was sad.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a skate demo where he was there. I bought one of his boards.
Yeah.
It was legit. He was that celebrity for me. Yeah.
I'm so sad about that whole thing.
Right.
I want him to get better. I want him to acknowledge his trauma, and he'll never fully be over Dunn's death, because of course not.
That was his best friend.
But he needs to...
He needs to learn how to cope with it. Yeah. In a healthy way.
He's got to sober up. He's got to be there for his kid. and he's got to realize his friends are not out to get him.
No.
They're trying to help him.
Right.
And even amidst all this, Steve-O is still trying to reach out to him.
Steve-O, Novak. The two people I wouldn't have bet on being, like, sober advocates, right?
Yeah. The two people that I wouldn't bet on sticking around while he's still shitting on them.
Right. Novak, I feel extra bad for because, I mean, I just think about all the shit he got.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sure he understands why now. But it's just ironic, I guess, at this point, that the person that was giving him this hard time about his drug use is also the person that is now in the exact same position he was.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember in Haggard that was like extra scenes or whatever? And Dunn was in the garage. I think it was Dunn was in the garage with Novak. And he found drugs.
I don't remember that.
Okay, well, that was a thing.
The thing I remember from Haggard is Deco inventing the microwave that made
the reverse
things cold.
microwave.
That's what and the weird, like, non-music video scene where Bam's girlfriend at the time showed her titties and Bam thought he was Villa Vallo, I guess.
Yep.
That was so weird.
But there were, like, not deleted scenes, but it was just, like, extra footage from when they were filming Haggard.
Yeah.
And, like, this was just real life shit that Dunn found drugs on Novak when he was supposed to be sober.
Yeah.
And he, like, confronted him about it, and they, like, ended up fighting.
Jesus. I don't remember that.
It was sad, but, like...
I don't think I ever saw a whole lot of interactions between Dunn and Novak.
Yeah, because I think Dunn was frustrated with him.
I remember, like, behind the scenes things, I was thinking about this the other day, too. I remember Dunn's, like, MTV
Cribs.
house. Yeah, Cribs.
Yeah, I do, too.
And he brought out the art project
that
Bam had made for him.
Yeah.
It was like, you could buy a whole CD and not eat lunch, like, 3 days or something like that. Where Bam was basically skipping school lunch so that he could buy a CD.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to that.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a box of Dunn's shit that Bam probably has that he hasn't opened.
I'm sure. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is sad because there's just so many.
And your mom brought up a good point that Bam is not acknowledging that he's not the only one who lost Dunn.
Exactly.
And he's acting like he is. And, like, what about Dunn's wife? We don't hear anything about her. No. I mean, not that she needs to be in the spotlight, but Bam doesn't...
And she never really was.
Bam doesn't ever acknowledge her.
No.
He just acts like he was the only one who lost Dunn.
Right.
And I understand he's not dealing with his trauma. He's sad. He's trying to act like he's not sad.
I wonder, like, how his wife is dealing with him and, like, all the... I mean, basically dragging this out for 10 years, this documentary he's making, bringing back all these, memories and stuff.
I don't know.
Because I imagine, her having to go through it as well. Like, it can't be easy. I mean, if she's dealt with the trauma from it, right? Yeah. It's not impossible. Yeah. But it's still rough to watch someone, continuously bring it up.
Yeah. And it's so rough because now we're watching Johnny Knoxville have to deal with... It hit Johnny Knoxville hard too, because I remember when Dunn died, he was, like, so upset and talking about how, like, his kid will never know her uncle now. or their, I don't remember if Johnny Knoxville had a daughter or...
I think he did. I don't know, though.
But he said, like, they'll never know their uncle now, and he was really upset and everything, and it hit him really hard, and I didn't even realize they were close like that. And then now he has to deal with Bam. He feels like he's losing Bam, and he's trying so hard, and you can tell in, like, interviews and stuff, it's hurting him.
Yep, because people have brought it up.
Because it's, like, the big thing right now with them.
And I think he basically said no comment, but,
He brought up Steve-O.
Yep.
And he said, you try so hard to help your friend, and then he just kind of, I don't think he talked more on
No.
It's rough.
But yeah, it's like the same thing that kind of happened with Steve-O, right? Anybody that tried to help, he would push away or avoid or whatever. But Bam is taking... I don't remember with Steve-O if he talked shit about
well, the thing
them.
Is, social media is a lot more prevalent now than it was when Steve-O... Like, it was around.
Yeah, because I don't remember him ever using social media like that.
But it wasn't, like... It wasn't where we got all our news. It wasn't where people went to promote their shit. Now it's like, it's the machine. You have to go to it. You have to promote your stuff on social media now. Like, the news stuff doesn't work anymore. And so now we see a lot more than what we did.
Right.
So and anything that Steve-O did or went through or said, we don't really know.
Right.
Because he wasn't on social media like
No,
that.
and he's still... he releases, like, whatever promotional statements for things he's doing, but other than that, I don't think he uses it like that. I don't know. I don't follow him that closely.
Yeah. Well, I think he promotes his, like, podcast, and I see him trying to reach out to Bam.
Yep. Yeah, France.
Mostly what I see. And France, I feel bad for him, too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Bam tossed him aside a long time ago.
Because, he basically drew the line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to show him that, they're here for him, but the stipulation, right, is that they're not going to allow him to use or anything like that.
Yeah. And they tried... That was the only thing... Bam acts like they shut him out from the movie, but all they asked him to do was be sober.
Yep.
He's acting like there's this great insult against him, but they said be sober.
And I think that was what Knoxville commented on, because Bam said something about, if I want to have a beer at the end of the night, that shouldn't kick me out of production.
Clearly, it didn't take them that long to make the movie, so you can't be sober for that long.
Right? Well, there's that, but not the only thing Knoxville said was if it were only a beer, a night, we wouldn't have kicked him out.
Yeah.
It was more than that. It wasn't just, oh, I'm gonna have a beer to end out the night and go to bed. No, it was either a lot or a beer and.
Yeah. Sad.
Yep.
Whole thing's sad. I feel bad for all of his friends, and honestly, I feel bad for him. I hope he doesn't end up dead like Don, and I hope he does get better and is there for his kid for real. And
right. And the thing that gives me some optimism, right, is that he keeps trying. He keeps, going through the process. He does get sober for a period, and then, yes, he falls off the wagon or whatever. But he keeps trying, so it's not clearly it's something he thinks he needs.
Yeah.
that I just hope one of the times he does it, it sticks.
Hopefully. Unfortunately, I think the one person that could reach him is not around anymore.
Right. Yeah, because that was the beauty of Dunn.
Yeah.
He was a no bullshitter.
Yeah.
To the max.
Yeah. And Bam doesn't have that anymore.
No. Well, that was depressing.
Well, you know, it's a heavy topic. I mean, we're excited for Jackass 4, obviously.
Yes.
But you can't really talk about it without talking about
right.
what's happening.
The absence.
Yeah. Vin Diesel.
Okay.
Is an enigma?
Yeah.
I don't understand the man.
I feel like I'm in Beautiful World.
See, that's what I don't understand. He seems really intelligent and not, like, weird. Uh-huh. And then things like that come out.
Yeah.
Why? What?
I don't know.
So somebody was talking about how Vin Diesel said he doesn't like The Rock and doesn't think The Rock... He's very disappointed with The Rock's acting or something like that.
Okay.
And somebody was like, I was surprised to hear him say these things, which, how they've both been very vocal that they don't like each other.
Right.
And then they talked about Vin Diesel's start. And so I guess Vin Diesel had this, like, short movie that he had made.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't know he made it, but it was part of what led Steven Spielberg to discover him. He had made this thing about being a racially ambiguous actor, trying to go after these, like, advertisement roles that were for, like, more people of color. And it just didn't work out for him and everything. But it wasn't like a, oh, woe is me, I'm not getting these roles. I was about to say,
so clearly it was like a write what you know situation.
But it was very much like, I haven't watched it yet, but from what I've seen, context clues and what people are talking about it and people of color are saying about it, they're saying it's not like a woe is me thing as these things usually are. Mm-hmm. It's actually very profound, and it talks about him wanting to be a serious actor and not this person chasing roles that clearly aren't meant for him.
Right.
And they said it's worth a watch, so I'll definitely have to check it out. But I did see his first movie, Strays, which was fantastic and had a very good message to it, and he was very good in it. He's a very good actor. And what everyone's been talking about is it's a shame that he doesn't get these more serious roles and that he's thrown into things like Fast and the Furious and things that have gotten pretty silly, because when you give him a serious role, he eats it up.
Right.
He's really good in it. So he's clearly a really good actor. Mm-hmm. And from his writing and his filming, he's clearly an intelligent person.
Right.
So I don't understand these random things that come up where he's like, are we in Beautiful World? Like, where does that come from? Does he have two personalities?
I don't know. To be fair, he could have very well been
trolling
under the influence at that point. True. Because it was like on one of those press tours. I can't remember where he was.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's always a good chance there was some partying that occurred before that interview.
There could have been. What upsets me about that whole situation is it's another situation where he lost someone. He lost Paul Walker. Mm-hmm. And they were very, very, very close. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, The Rock is trying to, like, take over this franchise.
Yeah. Which, of course, the big wigs, right, are like, hell yeah. Big actor, let's make some money.
How can you not expect him to feel some type of way, especially when he's one of the producers of the whole series? Yeah. And The Rock is sitting there being like, he's not taking this seriously enough. Bitch, you came in at the end.
Exactly.
This was a
They
thing
were a
before
family.
you. They were a family. This was a thing before you. And, like, no disrespect to The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
but y'all both need to sit down and really talk about this.
Yeah.
Because this is bigger than y'all.
It wasn't, I mean, the whole thought was, I think they had agreed, right?
Yeah.
The cast, anyway.
Yeah.
Had agreed they weren't going to make one without Paul Walker.
Well, they wanted to stop. Vin Diesel
Right.
wanted to stop. But, like, contracts and all that, he's kind of roped into it.
Right.
And, then there was this thing where The Rock is an outsider, and they had all talked about it and had all agreed that if they were ever offered a solo movie, they were going to turn it down. And they were all offered solo movies and all turned it down.
Right.
The Rock did not.
Right, because he hadn't built that sense of family.
No. It's
I make fun of it, but it's, I mean, that's clearly what it was.
Yeah.
They had all built up that they were like a family, they were in it together, and then, yeah, you get someone coming in at the end, and they don't have that same, like, loyalty or whatever that they've built up together.
It's a very weird and sensitive situation. But the whole thing is an enigma to me. He seems like he's a very intelligent person.
Yeah.
And then you get these random meathead moments that...
Everybody has a moment where they look like an ass.
But it just seems to be like the thing that gets blown up because it's what they expect the actor of Fast and the Furious to be like.
That's
but
true.
Vin Diesel is not that way all the time.
No, and I only know of that one. I don't know if you know of others, but I only know of that one interview.
The only thing I know is what people are saying, so there's nothing that's like real evidence.
Yeah.
People are trying to say that the argument between him and The Rock is like who gets the girl or whatever, but I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think that was it, and that wasn't what I heard when the whole thing started to begin with. It was all about, well, we agreed no one-off movies.
Yeah.
If we were going to make a movie, we were going to make it all together, and then he didn't want to do it after Paul Walker died.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I people have started talking about Vin Diesel randomly and bringing up, like, his more serious roles and his bigger roles. And they were talking about, like, everyone speculating that there might be a Jurassic World Fast and Furious crossover.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and somebody brought up the correlation, right? Vin Diesel is a producer of the Fast and the Furious series.
Right.
Steven Spielberg discovered Vin Diesel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they're like, it's not as far off as you think.
Did Steven Spielberg make Jurassic Park?
Yeah, he created Jurassic Park.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he did. He's the one in that picture that some check.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one in that picture with
like trophy hunting dinosaurs.
Yeah, and some jackass was like, this is horrifying. And they're like, it's a fucking dinosaur. They're not alive.
Right.
You realize this is fake, right?
I hate the world.
But Steven Spielberg also made Saving Private Ryan.
Yes.
And that was Vin Diesel's first, like, kind of breakout role.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in there. He was very good in it. And,
there was lightning in our area.
Was there lightning in our area?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a
now
good...
you know.
It was a good movie. It's one of those movies where you just kind of have to see it once. I get tired of all these war movies, like...
I haven't seen it once.
It's fine. You don't have to, but most people see it at least
What a
once.
rebel.
But I get so tired of war movies. There's like a new war movie every 3 seconds. And like I get it, there's a lot of source material there and everything, and people feel a type of way about this and that.
And the other.
But God, like, can't y'all go 1 year?
Well, I mean, has there been a war movie?
I think so.
Okay.
I think there's been at least one.
Really?
I think so. I remember reading that another one was coming out somewhere. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, y'all gotta be fucking kidding me.
That's wild. I don't pay attention to
And
them.
then if it's not an outright like on the battlefield war movie, then it's behind the scenes what the bigwigs are doing, and I don't give a fuck about the bigwigs. Fuck them. Fuck y'all.
All right.
Y'all shouldn't be playing with people's lives like this. I'll never blame people for going and defending our country.
No, and a lot of times when people pick either, I mean, there is that they want to do something like that for the country, or they don't have like a way to pay for college, so they're like, it's a means to an end kind of thing.
But I'm with Ethan of H3H3. Fuck the people who are playing with people's lives like they're toys.
Yeah.
And y'all are having a hissy fit, and you're throwing people in to die. But once again, I will never talk bad about someone who fought for our country. And it's just, I don't know. I'm tired of war movies. It's really the takeaway you can have here.
That. Yeah. Fair.
I'm tired of war movies. I feel like you see 50,000 screenshots from a Call of Duty game every 5 seconds. And a new war movie every year.
Yeah. Call of Duty I've never understood. I don't like shooters though, so that's probably a big player.
It's just a good shooter. And they do have interesting stories, I guess.
Okay.
Which are weirdly separate from real life. Which, of course, is a video game. But then it's kind of...
was it Battlefield the one that tried to pull from, like, more historical things? Which one was it?
I think all of them do. Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, Battlefield. But, like, then it gets to... They're starting to do, like, modern times and everything. And then it just starts to kind of stray from what's actually happening into this weird alternate reality.
Sure.
It's just interesting. It's interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even played a Call of Duty game. I played that space one, but other than that, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since, like, Glenn used to make me play them with him on, like, the PS2 and stuff.
Yeah.
And Medal of Honor.
First person shooters make me motion sick.
I used to love Halo, but Call of Duty just didn't... I guess because Halo was like aliens.
Yeah, it was different.
And that caught my interest, but like...
And it had a pretty good, like, single player story mode.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. Again, I have to straight up say, it's a miracle I finished the Portal games.
Huh?
It makes me so sick to play a first person game. I literally cannot play for hours at a time. I get maybe an hour max, and I have to stop because the movement makes my head want to fall off my neck. I want to puke.
I understand.
And the more realistic they try and make it, because have you noticed they try and like make it bounce like you're running or whatever and all of that? I'm like, stop it. Stop it. You're making my life even worse. Resident Evil, I couldn't even play that long for like the heavy combat parts.
Oh, yeah.
Like right at the beginning when you're in that village and you have to like run around and like shoot things and do all that. I had to quit right after that because the initial like run around bit made me sick. Luckily, there's not that many parts that are like that kind of heavy combat.
Yeah.
A lot of the other parts are pretty. You can do it without.
Yeah.
Running around too much.
Yeah. Well.
Yep.
Got anything else?
No.
I guess free Britney.
Yeah, of course, free Britney.
No one should have to deal with what she has to deal with.
No.
Especially not for that long. That's horrifying. She shouldn't have even been put in a conservatorship to begin with.
Because, like, I think of, like, Amanda Bynes, right?
Uh-huh.
And when she was going through it, she was, like, completely out of the public eye.
Yeah.
We'll say, for 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's still in it. Maybe Google that. I think she's out of her conservatorship.
Amanda Bynes conservatorship. Let's see here. I think she might still be in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing saying...
She's out of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad. But the big difference, right, with Amanda Bynes versus, like, Britney Spears, right? Britney Spears, still in the public, still performing, still doing all this shit. If she was really at a point where she needed a conservatorship, she wouldn't be able to do any of that.
Yeah. And she's being forced to do all of this. She doesn't want to.
Right.
She wants a break.
And, like, I think of most artists, right?
Yeah.
If they do tours, if they do, like, a long engagement like she did, like her Vegas residency or whatever, and then they take a break after it.
Yeah.
Most of them do that. You know what I mean? It's not like...
Yeah.
One right after the other, right after the other. They can take, like, a few months off and not do anything. They can, you know, record an album and not have to do tours while that's happening.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
the whole thing is terrifying, and it's...
The IUD bit fucked me up, that they can, like, even control it to that level.
Yeah. And I hope the courts listen to her and take it away.
Yeah.
Because that's fucked up.
And it makes me sad that the person she initially went, well, they can control my conservatorship, is even getting to that point. They're buying into the Britney machine.
Yeah. And did you see that some stars from Zoe 101 are rushing to her side and everything?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but because I never really watched that show.
No, I didn't either.
But two of the stars have been all over social media talking about it.
Interesting.
What gets me is the hypocrisy of news sites that were plastering her face with, like, her shaved head and everything everywhere and talking shit about her, or now all of a sudden being like,
we love Britney.
Free Britney.
Now, to be fair, it's probably been a whole new generation of people within the magazines, whatever.
That's true, but I don't believe that all of them are.
No, I don't either. But...
And celebrities, too, who are acting like they weren't making fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
We all see what y'all did.
Right.
None of us are blind.
Right. And these people that could have made a difference
chose not to. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is fucked.
Yep.
But Free Britney, obviously, she should not have to deal with this.
Yeah.
I will say, we are not sponsored by it, but I will say Shudder is pretty awesome. I got a free trial for it from someone else. And, you know what? I'll look up her YouTube so you guys can maybe
get a free trial, too.
You can get, like, 30 days free. Because I was randomly recommended Jade The Libra, her YouTube channel. I was randomly recommended her video because I guess YouTube knows me, and she was talking about Halloween decorations and what's out now and what's not, what stores aren't putting their stuff out yet because it's still June, but she's like looking out for all of it and everything.
Michael's usually launches online relatively early, so I'm excited. They had some classy Halloween stuff last year that we went and got and hung up, and it's still up.
But all you have to do is go to Shudder and do like act like you're gonna pay, I think, but find the promo code thing. Like, don't pay.
Mm-hmm.
Find the promo code thing and just put in code Jade, JADE. I
love that name.
Yeah, you're supporting a cool YouTuber, and on top of that, you get 30 days of free Shudder. Get to see what it's all about, see if you want it, and get to watch some cool stuff. Like, I've been watching Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In, and he used to be this host of a thing on TNT called Monster Vision. And back in our day, they used to marathon horror movies, and they'd have like hosts come on and talk about the movie that's about to play, or just kind of talk about what's going on with the marathon and stuff. And he was like one of the funniest. He was this redneck in the trailer park who would come out and be like, this movie has this 5 beheadings and 4 boobies and stuff like that. But then he'd be like, but we're on TNT, so they're not going to show any of that. But he would be really funny. And so now he's on Shudder, and he gets to talk about the stuff and show what he wants to show, and he gets to pick the movies, and it's usually interesting movies. Like, I watched Wolf Cop, which was really fucking weird. Spoiler alert, just so you know, and you're not blindsided like I was, you see a human dick turn into a werewolf dick.
Ew.
And it was fucked. It was nasty. It's
weird.
Gross. And that happened. But it was a funny movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Other than that.
I would like to say we haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure we'll watch it in the month. Creep Show.
Oh yeah, Creep Show. I want to watch Creep Show.
Right?
Yeah, Greg Nicotero made Creep Show, and also there's something I want to check out that's just now got added to Shudder.
Uh-huh.
It was a lost George A. Romero movie.
Oh, cool.
It was called like Amusement Park,
mm-hmm.
and it's like a horror amusement park.
Cool.
And I would say it's probably not going to be fucked up because it's old, but this is George A. Romero we're talking
mm-hmm.
about, and everything, no matter how old it was pretty fucked up.
Yep.
Like, Dawn of the Dead was in the 70s, and that was still pretty gory and freaky.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. All those tropes.
Do you think, I'm just going to throw this out here. Have you looked for it? What was that show called that we watched on there?
Oh, it's not on there.
I wish it were.
There's not a lot on Shudder. I will say that.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to build it up.
Sure.
And eventually it's going to have like an extensive horror collection, but right now there's good things on there.
I think about like Peacock when it initially started out. They had some movies and stuff on there, but like Peacock really buffed up their offerings.
Yeah.
Since it's launched.
But they, like, you would think certain movies would be on there, but they aren't on there. They have a good collection going, and they have some good originals on there.
Yeah. But
I feel like give it some time,
mm-hmm.
and it'll have all the things that you want it to have.
Yeah.
However,
yes,
it does not have Monster Man.
I missed that show.
There used to be this show on Sci-Fi that me and Mandy would watch when I was living in Georgia still, and she was living in Minnesota. And we would talk on the phone every night. I was living with my brother Jacob, and I would kind of hide away in my room, and I was dealing with some shit, and so I would watch TV at the same time Mandy would watch TV. And there were like a couple of shows we would watch together. One was Duck Dynasty. Mm-hmm. I don't know that she actually watched Duck Dynasty while I was watching it.
I don't know that I did either.
But then I'd be like, go on Sci-Fi, there's this weird show on. And it was this guy, it was called Monster Man. And it was this guy who made prosthetics and special effects for like low budget horror movies. And he did stuff for a music video for Devo. Which if you don't know who Devo is, there's a song called Whip It. And
Whip It Good.
Yeah, that you might know them from that. When a problem comes along, you must whip it. Whip it. Whip it good. Into shape. It's not too late. Anyways. He made like special effects, practical effects and stuff. And it was a really interesting show, but they never released a DVD for the season that exists. They never released a digital copy, as far as I could see, for it anywhere. And not Steve-O, what's his name?
Wee Man?
Wee Man. Wee Man was in
Yes,
an episode.
Jason Akula.
Acula? I don't know how to say it. Acuna?
It has it has the little fancy end.
Oh, Acuna?
I guess. It has the fancy end. So.
Wee Man from Jackass is
Yep.
in it. That was an interesting episode. I can't even remember what Wee Man was doing. He was making something and he needed Monster Man to make it for him.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
The prosthetic shit he did was unreal. It was so cool.
He had a weird charm to him.
He did.
And we loved that show, and it only lasted a season. If that, it was like a few episodes. It wasn't even that long.
No, but it stuck with me.
And then it never got a DVD release or anything. So, if any bigwigs at Sci-Fi are listening, send us a DVD.
Yeah, we would like it.
Of Monster Man. Thank you. Anyways. That's all I had.
That's all you had?
That's all
I wanted to shout out Precious Baby Eve.
Precious Baby Eve.
Yeah, Ethan Nestor, aka Crank Gameplays.
Yeah.
He released a video of a rewrite of a Bo Burnham song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was so good. So I think
it was also really sad.
I mean, it was depressing, but
I felt super bad for you.
But aren't we all? So it was really good, and I felt like it was a good encompassing of the last year.
Yeah. Poor Ethan.
That I feel like, I mean, even if you're not in his exact position, you can relate.
I feel like he's struggling because, and this is speculation, I don't know Ethan. I wish I knew Ethan. He seems like a really cool dude. I feel like he's struggling because they made
Redacted.
the YouTube channel that we will not name.
Right.
Redacted, yes.
Redacted.
Cryptid Watch.
Exactly. That channel is now a cryptid.
That channel is now a cryptid /SCP. I'm trying to make Cryptid Watch a thing. I don't know if you noticed.
I have.
I'm trying to own it. Cryptid Watch.
Cryptid Watch.
Just like that guy on TikTok. Nothing is a coincidence. Oh my god. When he looked at that lady, I was like, what did she see? Anyways. They made that channel and it was such a big thing and everyone like loved it and freaked out over it.
It gave everyone that saw the channel something to look forward to every day.
Yeah, and so they made this big creative project that's now gone. Mm-hmm. And now Ethan is just kind of like, now what?
What's next? How do I go? How do I move forward from that?
I feel like he feels pressured to make something big, but like just Ethan, I don't know that you'll ever hear this, but if you for some reason stumble upon this episode, just make what you want to make, man. Mm-hmm. People will follow you and love you regardless. And if you lose followers, yeah, that sucks. But like, you'll find a new audience. Right. You'll find an audience that likes what you like and likes what you want to make.
Right.
So just do what you want to do and make what you want to make, and don't chase an algorithm that doesn't even know what it wants.
Right, that changes every week anyway.
And don't chase like the views. Just chase what you want to make.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something similar to redacted, make that. If it's not, then make whatever you want to make.
You know, if it's the dance of Italy, it's the dance of Italy. You know what I mean?
It's the dance of Italy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But people love you for you. And if they don't want to follow you because you're not making what they want you to make, then fuck them, dude. 'Em. Like, you'll find your own audience.
And don't be afraid to create your own path. Because...
Yeah. And honestly, this goes for anyone listening. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry. And, like, I know that's easier said than done. And I, too, freak out, like, about trying to get followers and stuff. But that's only human.
Right. Don't
feel bad for trying to do that. But just know that you'll find your audience. Make what you want to make. And make what you want to see exist. And you'll find out that there are other people who like what you like, and they'll follow you through your journey.
Yep.
So yeah. Just do what you want to do, man. As long as you're not hurting anyone, who cares?
Exactly. And you already have a big group of people that love you.
Yeah.
So, and that I'm sure will follow through whatever you do. So don't be afraid to make a change.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to do what you want to do.
But yeah, go watch his video.
Yeah, he is Crank Gameplays
on YouTube. It's only like a few minutes, but you know,
yeah,
it was good.
Ethan Nestor. Did you have anything else?
No.
That's all I had.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, I do.
What you got?
It's still YouTube related.
Is it?
Dan Howell.
Dan
right?
Howell.
AKA formerly Dan Is Not on Fire.
Yes.
He released a book.
Yes.
That's kind of self-helpy, but, you know, not, you know, as much as a self-helpy book from a YouTuber can be.
Yeah.
But it's very good. It's called You Will Get Through This Night.
Yeah.
And I think he also released a video for Pride Month on his channel.
Oh, yeah?
That was like, I think, for a YouTube-sponsored event kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I would give that a watch, too.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
We love y'all.
Heart hands.
If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Ooh. It's real now.
I'm a real YouTuber now.
Congratulations. Slap that like button.
You see that, Mom? I'm
Punch
a real YouTuber
keyboard.
now.
Punch that keyboard.
Yeah.
And hit
actually,
that subscribe button.
Do not fuck up your keyboard. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Heart hands. Heart hands.
Bye.
Bye.